They're releasing their final album. I got 95 here. I've got 95 here. Sorry if I pissed you off. It's probably a good time to mention I am a Ginger fan. The album, I'm talking about the album. Another good thing to mention is I didn't listen to Saturation 1, 2 or 3 when they came out, so they haven't got a strong nostalgic bond with me. Another thing to mention, Matt, Kevin, Joba are probably my favourites. Let's start off with the bottom 5 here. Yeah, we got 2 songs from movies. These are just here to fill out the list. Moving into our next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs, I'm going to be honest, they're all off of American Trash. All American Trash. I haven't been really lazy here and just not really listened to the album and decided to chuck all American Trash songs into the bottom. It literally looks like that. That being said, a lot of them are here. It's just the worst. It's raw. They were rough and ready. It was the first one. We've got Flipmo, Home, Contacts, Ben Carson, Cotton Hollow, Breakfast, Lost in Love, and Michigan. I actually quite liked Michigan on re-listen. But directly after that, we've got 2 actually from the most recent, Roadrunner, Precious, / Bow Wow, and Sex. Call me a loser because I don't also like Cash. That's my next one up here. Saturation 1, and then some above that. I already recorded the first half of this because I did, and then I had audio things. So I'm like doing this bit again. And the first time around I said I always forget how these go. And this proves it because 10 minutes later when I'm redoing this, again, I still can't remember them. Next, we've got Something About Him and Where's the Cash At? And these 2 are rememberable and have got catchy hooks. And they're kind of the flip side. Sometimes an earworm's great. But most of the time, I don't really want a worm in my ear. We've got Stupid, Liquid, Alaska, and Milk. And is Fight one as well? And we're teaching it does. Yeah, Fight as well. It's basically the trend of back when Thou Who Shall Not Be Named, Amir, minimal instrumental. He's kind of just being like, yo, I grew up and I had to fight people. Yo, knock his teeth out, go home, take drugs. Like, it's just kind of like visceral, raw, not visceral, just sort of raw, gritty Amir intro. And didn't film any of them too much. Got about 5 of them in a row here. Destination, I'm Sorry. That's the one I saw on Reddit, and I was like, it was like in their top 20, and I like shat myself because I already made the list. I had it like, I think this is like 70 something, like 70. Next up we got Bump from Saturation 1, Fabric from Iridescence, Trip from Saturation 1, Bank from Saturation 1, Stains from Saturation 3, and Palace. When you listen to Roadrunner, then you listen to like All American Trash, which is what I did. You know, you kind of, you know, you go from like the Ritz to like Travelodge, and there's nothing wrong with a Travelodge. Like, it does the job, and like I think it's clean. I've not done a deep dive. I'm not a health inspector, but I think it does the job, and it's not like bad. It's like there's way worse places you could be put in if you had to stay somewhere in a hotel. I guess like it's fine. But I was just at the Ritz, so it feels terrible. You know what I mean? Like, production. It's an analogy. Next we've got New Orleans, Fake, Jouvert, Tupac, Jesus. I kind of went on a kick from Iridescence because that's technically the most recent album I've listened to, because Roadrunner came out and I went back into Iridescence because I kind of put it off for the longest time because everyone told me it was online internet said it was bad and kind of like a transitional phase, and I just never got around to it. But I actually liked Iridescence, and for a long time had a lot of songs including New Orleans playing pretty regularly in the playlist. It's fallen down a bit now for me, as you can see now, but it's still, I mean, it's not terrible. It's above quite a few Saturation 3 songs, which is impressive. And you're about to see that Iridescence kick continue because I got 4 in a row. I got District, Tape, Wait, and Berlin. Is Wait my favorite out of these? Like I'm the worst in the boy band. Wait's good. And then Berlin. It's a specific taste, I guess, Iridescence and Bareface on this, which I think was refreshing because you don't usually get a lot of them on everything else. You get like a little ballad, little outro hymn from him here and there, but not a lot of Bareface in general. And on Iridescence you get a lot. And I'm not even into that kind of music, but I guess I'm just a simp for Bareface. We've got Gamba from Saturation 2. Yeah, I remember that. I'll Take You On from Roadrunner. I'll Take You On was one I had. Is this too low? Have I been too harsh on it here? Because I really liked it when I first listened to it. I was like, yeah, I'm really on the I'll Take You On train. And then I think I watched a lot of reviews on YouTube who said I'll Take You On's one of the worst on the album. Maybe I was swayed a little bit. It's a safe point to say everything above this I at least like. I'll Take You On's good, and I know there's a lot more songs to come above it. Directly above it is Teeth from Saturation 2, Honey from Iridescence, the 1998 Truman, which is a single in here. And I really like the beginning of I'll play it first. They got like that sample at the beginning and then they come in rough, and like I don't know if I even like the song that much. I think Merlin's like hook got old on me fairly quickly. I don't even know, but I think you hear that intro and it just transports you to a certain point in time, and I feel like it's a key stamp, a keyframe, stamp point, a timestamp in the career, the timeline of the group, and it just takes me to a place. It's just a very iconic sound for them, and I know it's just a sample, but it does a lot for me. And next we got Hottie, which is immediately like a very different sound. It's very just sort of Disney Channel, I don't know, just sort of going through it. I've Been Born Again. That took me the longest time to even realize it was Bareface, and then I went on Genius and googled it and it told me Bareface, and I said liar, I just didn't believe it. Apparently so. We've got Windows and Chain On from Roadrunner, then we've got Chick from Saturation 2, which I'm pretty sure, if it's what I think it is, it's another one of them intros where I'm just like, sometimes the intro can carry a song for me. If it starts off in a certain way, you bring me in within the first seconds, I'm like, yeah, I want to listen to this. It could get shit within the next 50 seconds. I don't care. I'm in now. You convinced me. And I'll stay out of pure loyalty. And I just clumped like the remix and like the original into the same thing. Kind of got a SoundCloud sound to it, like yeah, like kind of mumble rappy kind of. Worked for me. Actually, it was different for them. Next we got Sunny, Saturation 2, and Gummy, Saturation 2. I've just said Gummy out loud and realizing we're not that high up right now, and that might be a controversial one. I really like the sample, how it starts off, and then like the buzzer beater, fucking whatever it's called, shot, stop, shot, clock. I don't watch basketball. Buzzer time. Kevin, I think, jumps in. It's hard. Light Part 2, I have it here below the Light Part 1, and I probably prefer the Light Part 2 as a song to listen to over if I had to do one over and over again. The Light 1 is so like, it's like a one and done, you know what I mean? But I think I just decided, I think the quality of the Light 1 is maybe better. Not got the replayability, but because it's outright just better, I put it higher and better for me, my opinions and that. And then, oh god, there's getting so many good ones in a row now. You got Heat from Saturation 1. Yeah, this one starts with a Amir thing, which actually works for me, and everyone's just going aggressive, rough on it, and usually that's not usually the vibe I'm jumping to, but on Heat it just works. It's so aggressive. And Heaven Belongs to You, I got above that, and I think a lot of people don't like it, and I didn't count it as like a skit or a scene or whatever they call them, cinema, and some of them like basically a skit, even though it's like 120. Because it's 120, I usually never skip it. I let it play through. It's refreshing as well when it's into an album all the way through, because it's just slow tie, and he's got like such an original delivery as well. It works well. I like Heaven Belongs to You, and I think it's in a respectable place here. Above we've got two more Ginger songs. We've got Boy Bye and Love Me for Life. This one might be controversial. I'm not sure. Johnny, I just have to say it, I feel like a lot of people have this in the top 20, top 15. It's got such a good intro as well. I'm sorry, and I do like it. Look, I've said it a while ago that all these songs from a certain period are of a certain caliber, but there's just ones I have higher. I got The Boys higher than it. Not The Boys. Amazon TV show higher than it, just randomly here. I got Boys higher than it. Then we got Queer from Saturation 2. Skinny boy, muscles out, walk work, 8 hours, take the bus back. Relatable, I suppose. And I think when I first heard it, I was literally doing exactly that. I feel bad putting Swamp to slow down. Swamp is so good. From the outside, they've been talking down on me. Huh? What'd you say? You do not know me. Above it, immediately we got 1999 Wildfire, which I don't even know if I even prefer to Swamp. It is pretty good, to be fair, and I think it's the best of other singles. They had like Truman, and then the other one I don't remember. Like I said, when I got to like the top ones I really like, where it was hard to like decipher, I wanted it to still be varied with the ones I had near the top. And I think for what it is, one of those bareface ballads, it does well. And then once you start to get to like the final third of it, and all the extra like vocals are coming in, it's so like transcendent. Such a good immediate sounds to me. I'm just like, yeah, that's synonymous. And it just reminds me of the whole song, like just that alone. I can remember like every verse and all the lyrics are coming back to me. And when I first heard this, I get recency bias a lot. It's pretty why I've got Speak of the Devil, an Iridescent song directly above this. When I hear stuff recently, so at the time, Count on Me was very, very, very high for me. Like I've had this in a playlist recently. I listened to Iridescence for the first time recently, and yeah, about 5 or 6 of the songs are just in the playlist a lot. And they have fallen a little bit. It's a good thing I didn't do this like a couple months earlier than this. There'd probably be a lot of Iridescent songs a lot higher, and I don't think people want to see that. But they're starting to fall out a little bit now. Maybe we've got a few more just to preface that, and then we're done. Like Junkie, I know some people would have it in their top 20 and I don't, but I like it. And again, it's a great, like, I used to think, what is Kevin even good at? I used to think, oh well, Dom's like the lyric guy, and like, you know, Merlin's got line delivery too, and he's like got hype, and like Matt's smooth on the smooth over any beat, and Bareface can like sing and play instrument, like, and Joba's like multifaceted in that regard. He's got different talents. What's Kevin? Is he just a face man? But then you realize, no, Kevin I think is the best at intro in a song. He's so good with a catchy hook as well. You shouldn't need any more than that beat. It works so well. It's so different sometimes when you hear Bareface on something like this. It slaps, it goes hard. You gotta be in the right mood for it, but St. Percy is a good one. And I've got Ginger bias to the album that is nothing against Gingers. The light is good, visceral, aggressive. I don't listen to it often, but it's more I have it this high up because I respect it as a song, and both parties are very good on it, very honest, you know, don't listen to it often. A lot different, more just sort of whatever song here, but I like the first half of this next one a lot more than the second half, but I still enjoy it as a whole. Bankroll is good. Again, like the whole Roadrunner. And it's what I mean when you listen to something for the first time. Obviously, I didn't hear the Saturation trilogy ever for the first time when it came out. But like for Ginger and Roadrunner I did. So I feel like I have a lot more bias to them. And the whole Roadrunner stuff when I was working. I think I was doing the night shifts at the time for that one. So I just remember playing these songs on repeat while like packaging shit. And yeah, they finish high for me for that reason. Another like high intensity introduction. It's such a Brockhampton sound. Kevin on the intro again for this one, and he smashed up. Buzzcut was like they dropped as like the single before the album, so like get hyped for it. It's a good song, man. I don't listen to it often, I'm gonna be honest. But whenever I hear it, I'm like, maybe I should listen to it more. Now I almost want to run before saying the next one because it's number 27, and I think a lot of people would have this in their top 10, and I'm almost certain 80% of fans would have this song in their top 10, and I wouldn't be surprised a large group of people had this as their favorite. I don't think that's crazy to say, at least top 5. For me, it's good, yeah, and I really respect, like I rate it, but I just never listen to it. I know I've said that about a couple other ones on here, but it's just, and I think also at the time when I first heard it, I didn't know what the hell anyone was talking about because I didn't know about all the backwards drama. Okay, I'm giving it away. I am so sorry, man. I just never understood it really. I never knew what was going on. I will say, right now I've got it at 27, and I probably at one point didn't even have it in my top 50. As time goes by and I like know the group better and I've like got more and more into it and I've learned about different stuff and I go back to it. And even as a song just on its own outside of that, it's like been rising and rising. So I've no doubt probably over like the next few months or even a year, it could probably break my top 20 because it's 27 at the moment. I don't think that's out of the question. Right now I do have it 27. I know that's just like blasphemous to say, but Dearly Departed, like, I feel like this is really low. A lot of people would have it higher, but it is just here for me. Big Boy above it, and Big Boy is not bad. It's like a good song, and it's like this is the like I like this song, but just to defend myself, I reckon probably in a few months time like Dearly Departed would have overtaken Big Boy probably in a couple ones above this as well. And I've tried to keep it diverse as well, and maybe I'm a bit harsh, and I have a song here which is in the top 20 above Dearly Departed, and maybe there has been a lapse in judgment, but when people compare that, this song's number 20, now Dearly Departed here at number 27, it might get violent. I'm sorry, but it will rise over time for me like bread. Zipper is another one, much like I feel Truman is in the way it sounds, and a couple other songs on here. Heat in the way it sounds. I think Zipper is the one which is synonymous with this group. Their sound is one of the ones people would pick out from a group and say, oh yeah, this is what they're like. Weird, bouncy, exotic beat they have. It's not even exotic, it's just alien. And then the way everyone comes in it, all the different voices. I think Zipper's pretty much like that. And then above that, very different. A Solo Man Job. Summer. It's not my favorite like solo because obviously we've had so far Dear Lord, now Summer. Another solo Bareface thing. It's good though, very repetitive, but like in the right temperature, the right climate, it's one you play. Saturation 1, going back in time a little bit now. Little misguided. Yeah, we got Gold here. I remember really liking, like, I don't know how old I was when I first heard this, but Matt's first verse at the time. And yeah, Gold is just, it's a classic, man. Yep, Jello's the same as Zipper and Heat and Truman. Iconic. The sound, everything I said about Zipper, same could be said. Shoot me. I like Tonya, okay? I think it's good. Yes, I have it above Dearly Departed. Don't get mad next, because look at what number 20 is. I know a lot of people do agree and consider Infatuation to be the best song from All American Trash. Would it be into their top 20? I don't know. The fact that I have an All American Trash song in my top 20 sounds mad. Maybe at the time I thought it would make me sound cultured. I'm now realizing that I have it about 7 places above Dearly Departed. That might trigger some people, but I just think for a song to be pretty good, like, it's got some corny lines, but it's held up pretty well. And it was from their first album. They deserve some credit. At Dearly Departed, there was so much more matured by this point. I just think it deserves credit for the time it came out and to still be decently regarded by the fans and that. And I just like, I'm sorry. Thug Life, it's got a similar sound to, what is the song? When I Ball, in the sense that it gives me nostalgic vibes, and I like listening to Thug Life. It's like the feeling it gives you, and I know it's another iridescence. I don't think a lot of people have a lot of high iridescences, but I ain't a lot of people, I guess. San Marcos, another iridescence. I think that is the final iridescence. I'd probably switch actually Thug Life with San Marcos now I'm looking at it. Regardless though, that's the final iridescence we have going into our final like 18 songs here. If You Pray Right, I don't know how many people would have it this high. I like it. Job is sick on it. Even like Matt, and he's only in it for like 15 seconds, I think. Another great Bareface thing. It's basically 2 songs in one, and the second half's really good as well. Very different sounding. It is very much like listening to 2 songs. You might be in the mood to listen to like the first half of Team, not the second half, or vice versa. Might be rare you're in the mood to listen to both halves, so maybe that's a little bit annoying. But for me, it makes my top 20. Face is in my top 20. Face is obviously an absolute banger. Some people would have that in their top 10, top 5, 100% agree. Obviously, Saturation 1. It's a lot of good songs in it. It's very hard. It's very congested. It's also a very good song. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Amir, Dom, Kevin, full of references. It's a fun one. It's one of the first ones I heard from Saturation 1. It's one of the high highs from Saturation 1. When I Ball, nostalgic vibes. It's very new as well, with some bias there, recency bias, but I don't even care. I just had to be honest. I was going to put Old News so much lower because I know people don't even like it that much. I really liked Old News when Roadrunner first came out, and I still really like Old News. Whoever Baird, really like him. I like everyone on it, and I'm not hiding it anymore. Old News is great. No Halo. It's great. It just misses out on top 10, and you'll see we got some greats in top 10. And as much as I've maybe annoyed people with certain songs to put in certain places, I don't think anyone could deny that at least my songs in the top 10, I think are all top 10 worthy in my opinion. And No Halo just misses out, but I love the like the chorus, and they've got a lot of songs like this, Brockhampton, where it's like lovely sung chorus and it goes straight into a Matt verse, and the Matt verse always slaps. Another example of that. Some of his best work here on Rental's so good. God, like the hook in it is just, I'd go Saturation 1, 2, then 3. I think they get better and better. And some of the highs on Saturation 3 are just too high to be ignored. We're living in the moment. It's one of my favorite intros, like any song. Tokyo, decent chorus. The intro is where it peaks, and it's a high enough peak that I live off that high for a while. It lands in there pretty comfortably. Okay, I said all my top 10 can't be denied. This is going to set fire to the world. When I first heard Ginger, the song Ginger, easily my least favorite on the thing. Never listened to it again since then. A year later, after hearing the album for the first time, listened to it again, and I was like, I love the song, loves how it ends. Bareface ending it is like one of my favorite pieces of song from like, I think Ginger is so underrated. Everyone thinks it's just meh or bad. No one thinks it's good or great or amazing, and it's in my top 10. I've listened to Ginger so much. I think in my Spotify Wrapped, it was in my top 5 most listened to songs last year. I really like Ginger. It's just so quintessentially Brockhampton. Saturation 2 is good. It makes the top 10. Well done, Sweet. You're a part of the club. Barefaced Ballad, I think it's probably my favourite. I do really like whatever the other one was called, Team, but it's got the whole second half which you might not be in the mood for. This one's on its own. I really like, listen to it a lot, so I don't listen to that much these days, but Don't Show Up the Party, another great Karen intro, super hype. We're gonna get to what I think it's sort of the successor of, but yeah, is that my number 5? Yeah, Don't Show Up the Party is my number 5. I don't listen to it much. Extremely high, probably great live. And the song I got next here, I think it's the successor of this song for what it does for them. You can't have a top 5 and not have Boogie in there somewhere. Boogie stood alone for what it did for the group and how it was like a cult favorite kind of thing at their shows for the longest time. I think Don't Show Up the Party has came and rivaled that and challenged that as being like a hype song that they can perform and has a similar effect. Boogie, obviously, will need more time to gain that, and they don't really perform anymore. They're dead as a group now. They're split. That's what they say. But yeah, Boogie's got to make the top 4. And now we've got 3 left. If you somehow manage to keep track of what 3 are left, then you'll know what these are. But at number 3, Beatles-esque. It's fornication on the ears. Like when you hear it and it's all up in there in the production, it's all great and it's all like so monumental sounding and so grand, and I love everything about it. Joba all the way through it. Matt's great on it. It's a shining point of Roadrunner. 2 left, which I will say what they are. It is Sugar and Bleach, Saturation Free and Ginger. Which one will take the number 1 spot? Taking number 2 will be. It hurts me to put Bleach number 2 and not number 1. I think I actually prefer that like chorus more than the Sugar one, but I think Sugar as a song overall, I prefer the song of Sugar. But Bleach is good. Bleach is really good. They both follow the same template as I mentioned before from No Halo. Nice little chorus song out, and then Matt jumps on and just smoothly goes with his business. He has the same, they're very similar in the format now I look at them. Here's an outro on Bleach as well, but I prefer the Sugar one. And Bleach, better hook. Doesn't quite take it. It'll be interesting to see what songs from the new project make it on, if any. I'm really hoping it's not bad. You know, it would kind of suck if it was. But yeah, it's a shame it's done. But you know, it was a good run. It was a good time, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. And you know, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.